Okay, so like I've been saying, I've been really focused on competitive Yu-Gi-Oh lately, and I have this YCS coming up in April that I'm going to be preparing really hard for. New deck, everything, and it really got me thinking and realizing card games are really expensive, man. Really expensive. And like, compared to Lorcana, it's not even close, at least right now. Yeah, it's not even close, at least right now. So if we were to go on TCG Player, okay, we were to go on TCG Player, let's go to the first chapter. And this is from a singles perspective, by the way. So let's look at the best cards right now in the game and what they're priced at. Maui around $5 to $7, Tinkerbell $11, $12, Be Prepared $8. You know, obviously buying 4 of them can make it somewhat pricey, but where are kind of the big hitters here? Elsa 15, Belle 25, Hades around 20, Rapunzel 35 to 40, Ursula like 13. Like, these are all pricey cards. We get to another big hitter here, $35 card, Maleficent, which is a Ruby staple rather. So yeah, these cards can be pricey. If we were to look at Rise of the Floodborn, okay, there's some pricey. There's mainly one pricey card in here. Mainly one main one. We all know what it is. I just gotta find it. Like, Mufasa is around a $20 card, and right now for non-foil and non-enchanted, Beast is the most expensive card at $43 at right now as we're looking at this on this date. And it's kind of, you see, it's kind of stayed around this. It dipped a little bit like 2 months ago, but as you see, it's been gradually kind of working its way up and then kind of staying in this range right here. This is the most expensive card. 45 cards. You would run 4 of them, right? So what? Around like $180 for a full playset. I'm just here to tell you that Lorcana may seem expensive, but to those who only exclusively play Lorcana, it is not even close compared to other card games. Let's take a look at Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the best example I have. So if we go on YGO Pro Deck, which is a great resource for Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? Let's take a look at the tournament meta decks. Alright, tournament meta decks. Where's the one? Oh, you should probably click this. Alright, so one of the best decks right now. Where is it? Where's the one that like just won something? Here we go. This is one of the best decks right now. One of the most popular decks right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so it's called Rescue Ace, Diabell Star, blah 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 blah. So there are cards in here that are like required staples to have. One of those cards being this card, Diabell Star, the Black Witch, and as you can see on TCG Player, if you look, that is a $38 to $40 card, and you need 3 of them. All right, so that's like Beast, right? But if we keep going down here, let's take a look at this nifty little card that's been causing a lot of controversy in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, which is Bonfire. $100. All right, now here's the thing. Bonfire, in the context of Yu-Gi-Oh, it searches a card, which is really, really good. But like, it only searches one kind of card, and that card, which is Pyro type monsters, and that type just so happens to be meta relevant right now. And this card is $100. Another required playset in this engine is called Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. This is another $100 card. So in between 9 cards in this 60 card deck, right, which by the way, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh decks are mainly 40, we're looking at, let's see, 120 and 300, 600, just between these 3 components. We're looking at 3, 6, about $400 just for these 3 components of the deck, right? $400. That, like, $400 is like a Ruby Amethyst deck, about, right? It's about that, because like, yeah, you do have to buy those expensive cards, but that you'll get that deck for that amount of money. And these are just 3 components in the main deck. Yu-Gi-Oh has something called an extra deck, where you these are kind of cards you play using these cards as like resources and materials. And one of the main staples in it is called SP Little Knight, which again was just released not that long ago. This card is a $140 card. So to that $400 price range, let's add another $140 and make it $540. Oh, and by the way, this person runs 2, so let's bump it up to almost $700. All right, and again, that's not even the full deck. Some of these other cards cost around anywhere between 5 to 10, which jacks up the price even more. You know, these decks can be in the thousands in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering games like that have similar issues. So to really put it in perspective here, Lorcana is actually a really cheap game right now. I know, like, when the first chapter was first released and there was all that scalping going on, that, like, you know, it's like insane. It's like, wow, this game is very inaccessible. But if your most expensive card is $45, and like the best deck in the format is like what, $400 to $450, that's not bad, all things considered. Now, there are games that are cheaper, again, like Pokemon. But for Yu-Gi-Oh, one of the best decks, and one of the decks that you want to compete with, is a $1,000 deck, just about. You know, if we were to go to the latest Magic the Gathering set, all right, let's take a look at this. $5, $8. I don't even know like what this is. Is this a deck? Is this a commander deck? Oh no, it's a booster set. Okay, where are the chase cards here? Like I'm so out of practice when it comes to Magic the Gathering. Alright, so I'm on MTG Goldfish for Magic the Gathering, taking a look at some of the best decks in their standard format. We're not looking at budget decks. We're taking a look at standard metagame. We have $439, $519, $515. Yeah, that's pretty insane. If we go look at the modern metagame, we have, oh cool, $1,300, $1,000, $991, $923. Clearly this format is more expensive, and that's the thing when it comes to Magic the Gathering, is that they have multiple formats, and those formats are not created equally. Like sometimes, like you see, the modern format is more expensive sometimes than the standard format. Let's see, we have Legacy format. Like, now this one's not really fair because like you're using really old cards, like Beanstalk Control. Like Underground Sea is, this is like an OG card that's $2,000 something dollars. Tropical Island, another OG card. Like that's obviously not fair, but again, like some Magic the Gathering formats are more expensive than others. All right, so we're on Dreamborn here, and if we were to look at the best deck in the format, which is Ruby Amethyst, right? A completely decked out Ruby Amethyst deck. Let's see one that like did well in a tournament. Looking at obviously the competitive ones. Let's see. I mean, it's all varying in prices here. So like regular Ruby Amethyst Control, this has it going at $232.22, and I imagine they even probably made some cuts to this. Like they're only running 2 Maleficents instead of 4. Well, I know some people run 4. I guess people are running 2 now, but like this is the best deck in the format, and it doesn't even come close to some of the prices from these other games. So like, I guess the lesson here is that TCGs are like, they're a hobby, and hobbies cost money. And the thing is, like, Lorcana right now at least is really one of the cheaper options, which is crazy to think about. Like a lot of the prices come down a lot, and I think it's a good thing because it makes the game more accessible. But again, like with other card games like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering, the prices can be out of control. So if you are looking to get into other card games, just make sure you're mindful of that. But I was just kind of realizing this today, that like the best decks in Lorcana, like at most, see $380 for the Mufasa deck, $330 for Amethyst Steel. Like, yeah, that's obviously a lot of money, but like it pales in comparison to some of these other card games. So, you know, just something to consider. That's all.